One of my favorite topics these days, and maybe for the upcoming years as well, is this global issue that moves, I think, in most of us around saving the world. And I deeply believe or perceive that saving the outer world, what we normally refer to when we take the term of saving the world, is dependent and somehow identical with saving our inner world. Just because when we see any living being in a really wild and healthy environment, we see it living up to its natural design of taking care and staying with the outer balance or balancing system around by staying in an own regulated nervous system. So coming from that perspective, or let's call it an opinion, I think that the mass of outer destruction and dysregulation, to take a soft term for a global disaster, is due to our inner mess and our inner destruction and our inner desperation and our inner helplessness, because we look at the outer circumstances and try to wake each other up, to shake each other until we are awake for what's happening around us. And I think a way of reframing that, at least in language, but from there maybe also an action step, is: can we shake each other up for our inner state, for our inner longing for healing? The moment I try to save the world around me is the moment I touch indirectly that I want to save my inner being. I would call it, but that's just a terminology, I want to gain back my access to my own essence, which is intact, which is designed to stay in inner as outer balance at the same time, because it is perceived as one and the same. So there are many things that come from that I want to point out in this video, not because I consider them to be the most amazing things around this topic, but I perceive that it's not enough mentioned in the current field or discussion around it. And I just think, I mean, if there are billions of living beings and billions of human beings being affected by, for example, climate change, then I want to hear billions of truth and billions of languages and billions of individual ways of showing up with saving the /inner/outer world. So one thing is, shaking each other up is too brutal. It's like, why don't we care for our environment? Why don't we care for that living beings, human beings, at the other side of the globe, or maybe just in my neighborhood, but I don't hear them when they beat their child? Why do I not care? We answer with, well, we don't care because we don't have to. We don't care because, I mean, people are greedy. Look at them through history. And yes, I look at them through history, and I see people living in patriarchal systems, which are not man-friendly systems, but that's just a footnote to another video. Living in patriarchal systems, living in systems being run in their religion out of guilt and fear instead of love and prayer. And I see them being greedy, being in a constant lack of I need more and I'm the most important thing. And at the end of the thing, I think us considering ourselves to be the problem is not the truth. It's just a global comfort zone, and it is a trauma symptom. No tiger, no dolphin, no worm, no bird considers itself to be good or bad. The whole thing of us being the problem, of a human being being bad, is just a symptom of confusion due to trauma. And yes, patriarchal systems are a collective trauma. A religious access to my divinity, being defined only as my reference to the outer world and to a higher eminence that has the power to say what is good and what is bad above me. All of these are trauma symptoms. And I'm not saying this is a trauma symptom and this is wrong, and so you have to believe that you are good in the essence, because in the end this might be just an opinion. But what I see coming from this collective comfort zone or collective belief system around we are bad is we won't show up with our potential for saving the outer world because we block in a very essential and crucial part our inner regulation. I can't regulate my own inner nervous system, my own inner kind of biotope. I can't regulate that as long as it is blocked with the deep subconscious collective belief that everybody else believes in, I am bad. But when I try harder, I get better. You won't get better. You might save the whole world. You might be more ascent and more holy and more sacred than any human being before you or around you. It won't make you any better. Because this is my opinion, take it or leave it. The very fact that you are inescapably good is something that you can't destroy. It's your design. It's your design to care if a child is beaten in your neighborhood. It's your design. It's your holidays. It's your vacation. It's your regeneration, stepping into action in the outer world, just because your inner world regulates in a way due to its own design that it shows up with it's my need to be selfless. I am egoistic by showing up with my courage and with my information and knowledge and with my kind of connectedness to other beings and to other qualities. And I think in that way, if we approach saving the outer world all together out of the subconscious feeling of guilt because we are bad, so we are the problem, I mean, as long as we subconsciously believe that we are the problem, we will keep killing ourselves. That is what our selfless design of our nervous system will just do. And we do that. We are killing ourselves in a just very effective, I could say even original or creative or impressive way, just because it will really work. And this is not me pointing out that we are a problem. It is me pointing out that we are causing a problem. And we are causing the problem. We need to face that we caused the problem without going an inch towards the direction we are the problem. And this is a tough thing, even for me in small things. I mean, for you it might be easier, I hope. But for me, for example, I feel so passionate around saving the world. And I still do flights for getting trainings or certificates or certain kind of access to information. And I'm not okay with taking these flights. And I take them anyway. And now we can go into a whole thing around why it might be worth of going into a plane, and etc., etc. But if we just leave it here, it's an opportunity for me facing that I am contributing to the very problem, and I know it. And I don't know what to do about it. Can I stay in this not knowing? And can I stay in this kind of, I am causing parts of the problem? Can I stay there? Can I hold in myself that I am still inescapably good, even though I cause the problem? It's paradox, but I think it's us detaching from the subconscious confusion that we would be also bad. If we detach from there, we will unleash our courage to face our shadow and to face with more focus and more awareness that we are causing the problem. We run from our awareness around causing the problem because we think that this means that we are bad. The moment that you can hold yourself, protect yourself from this collective trauma violation that everybody does with himself or herself or oneself, you are good, no matter what. You might murder all human beings around you, you are still good. I don't let you go. You are good. And from there, it's like, wow, if I'm good, I can see I caused this. I try to hide because I hear the child crying and doesn't sound good to me, but I'm so busy and it will be okay and the parents are nice. Blah, blah, blah. This blah, 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 this comfort zone costs us so much, and it doesn't cost us so much effort of saving the world. It costs us seeing that our potential is our neediness, that our selflessness is the most egoistic thing that could, by the way, overnight save the outer world because we deeply relax into our own nature. And the last thing for this video is I refer to the thing of shaking each other up. And it's somehow violent or brutal with each other and with ourselves. It's like referring to it as a global wake-up call. And this shaking or call is too violent because we have been shut down, or we shut down in our conditioning, upbringing, culture, etc. because we felt too much shaking from the outer world. We felt too much pressure. There were too many people, too many voices, too many confusions being shouted into our ear. It's like I didn't try, or I didn't decide to believe that I'm bad, but it's just my father believed in it so deeply. My mother believes in it so deeply. It's like I hear their voices, but now, when they are maybe even dead, I hear them in my head. That's the thing. The echo from the outer world having somehow overpowered you with some kind of confusion that you then took in because of the charge of the energy. Like being overpowered with your inner essence by outer power, at least outer force, and trying to heal us from being overpowered by outer pressure. You have to do something, do the right thing, otherwise you are bad. You're not allowed to be that way, you're not allowed to rest, whatever. Trying to turn that around with the same thing won't work. It can't work. If I want to call you up, I have to give you a quiet and safe space. I have to allow you to feel safe with yourself. I have to allow you to reject my truth. I have to allow you to feel safe when you give me a feedback that might challenge me around my shadows. Waking you up, giving you the most effective wake-up call, is way less calling my truth into your ear. It's opening a space where I offer my presence around listening to you. It's like, even though human beings have hurt me so deeply, and you as well, I think no way around, I have to treat you as if I would go into full trust that you are good. Treating you as if you would be good will reveal to you, in the same amount as I manage to open the space for you, that you are good, and way better even than I managed to treat you. So this is a wake-up call. A wake-up call is treating me or you with a shockingly decisive and precise and global love.